Welcome back to Bowen's Garage. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be discussing Autotrader, which is probably one of the most divisive subjects in the trade at the moment. And there are a number of reasons as to why, and you'll see from the title of this video that we think, as a community of dealers, that possibly Autotrader have just pushed it a little bit too far. And there are a number of reasons as to why we possibly think that, and I will go into them. James at Chops Garage, one of my good friends, has done a couple of videos on this, and if you haven't watched them already, I do suggest that you do just that, and I'll put the link to those in the bottom of this video. Autotrader have always been good to me and good to us as a business, and I've always been a big advocate of theirs across all platforms. If I've been on podcasts, if I've been talking to other traders, I've always been a big fan of Autotrader. I like the figures, I like the data, I like the way the adverts are laid out, or I did. As a package, it was really useful to us as a business. It helped us grow the business. We sold an awful lot of cars through Autotrader, and for any customer that you'd ask, especially for the sort of stock profile that we carry, Autotrader was the go-to when searching for a car. It was the default setting. If you ever asked anybody, how did you find our car? Autotrader. Towards the end of last year, I noticed that the leads started to drop off, and I thought possibly it was just the market, but we actually had a really strong year last year, and the leads were decreasing as the year went on. I thought, maybe it's just a trend, we'll come back in the new year. January, February, again, the leads were very much like they were towards the end of last year, way down on previous years. And we've been with Autotrader a long time, 10 or more years. You know, we've been going 13 years, and we've been with Autotrader for the very vast majority of that time. And we've noticed that the leads are still very low. In fact, they're as low as they have ever been. And the price is now as high as it has ever been. Now, as you're watching this on the 1st of April, I thought it was a good time to release this video, because the 1st of April is when Autotrader pass on to us their annual increase in fees. And this year, it's just the very small amount of 8%. 8%. So to give you guys a bit more of an idea as to how much that is going to cost us, because I genuinely believe the vast majority of the general public have no idea how much we pay for our advertising on Autotrader. And every time I do mention it to customers when we're selling cars, if they say, I bought it from Autotrader, well, we've seen you on Autotrader, and we do sometimes have a chat about how much it costs us, they honestly cannot believe the figures that I'm talking about. And then they wonder why, maybe our car's not as cheap as somewhere elsewhere that's on Facebook Marketplace. So it's an 8% increase as of the 1st of April. And that will take our 31 car package. So we have a 31 car package. We carry about 40 cars in stock usually, but some are in the last stages of prep. Some have just arrived. So we have 31 cars advertised always. And that costs us, or will be costing us, from the 1st of April, it'll be costing us where are we? £4,130.46 plus VAT per month, which is an increase from last year of £299.70 plus VAT per month, which is an increase of £3,596.40 plus VAT for the year. So that means our total spending on Autotrader for a 31 car package will be £49,500 £565.52 plus VAT for 12 months, which is, for what we are, a small business in the motor trade world, carrying 30, 35, 40 cars. We're a small independent garage. So to be spending the best part of £50,000 plus VAT per year to advertise 31 cars on their platform is an awful lot of money. And a lot of my friends and the part of the dealer community that we are in now, which we are so fortunate to be part of, the figures for some of these guys are absolutely eye-wateringly expensive. And this is just to advertise cars that we have for sale. Now, Autotrader will tell us that they are still the number one platform. And when they gave us this notice of a price rise, which was in January of this year, which was a really nice present to come back to after the Christmas break, within the first couple of weeks, bosh, there's your 8% increase. It is eye-wateringly expensive. And are we getting value for money now? I have always said that yes, we have. And I've been a firm believer that we have had value for money. But now, at £4,130 a month, that is the first 5, 6, 7 cars that we are selling in the month. It's purely just to pay for that package. Do we need it? What Autotrader did do to try and they've got different reasonings. I had a very long, what's made me do this video in the first place is I've had quite strong feelings on this for a while, but I had a very long conversation with my rep last week, 45-minute conversation. I went through all my concerns. Of course, they had answers for everything, as you'd expect them to do. But I was just saying that I just do not think we get the value that we used to do. And there are a number of reasons as to why, and there are a number of things that they've added which they think means that we are getting more value for money. But from a small independent business, I just don't see that we are. So 8% increase again. Their profits last year were up by 26% to £348 million, which is huge. And I do not begrudge anybody making profit, any business making profit. We are all here to make profit. Otherwise, we wouldn't work for ourselves. So it's not me saying, well, that's an obscene amount of money to be making profit. It is a large amount of money. It's a massive amount of money. But to then have another 8% increase in the fees, when as a market and as a trade, it is hard. It is hard at the moment. It's as hard as I've ever known it. In 2012 we started, and this is as hard as it has been. The profit margins are being squeezed enormously. There is a very short supply of nice used cars in the market. The auction prices are absolutely astronomical. The cost of repairs is so much higher than it used to be. Parts are through the roof. Running costs of running the garage are, electricity bills are up, water bills are up, rates are really up, national insurance is really up as of today. So everything is getting squeezed. Autotrader made £348 million, and then they put another 8% on. And from what we've seen and the comments we've been looking at on various different platforms, customers aren't particularly happy either. And that is a really crucial point. Customers aren't particularly enjoying the way the adverts are laid out. You can pay extra to be in a more national search, and those cars are then appearing at top of people's listings where they might only want a car that's within X amount of range or mileage or price, and all of a sudden they're getting some other cars appear at the top of the listings. So I think the customers aren't particularly happy with the way the format has changed. Autotrader have added a couple of products for us as dealers, which is supposedly going to enhance the package and therefore give us value for money. They've released AI adverts, which, looking at the adverts, and I've seen a few examples, are bloody terrible. We write our own adverts for every single car. We like that personal. We're doing a proper write-up of each car, and where we detail the service history and so on. AI can do that, but in a way that is very not the way. What am I trying to say? Not the way I speak, and not the way if a customer turned up, we'd speak to them. So we want it in our way of doing things, and AI will definitely help the big car supermarkets, the big franchise dealers. Of course it will. I'm not stupid, and obviously they're the ones who are paying the massive money per month for their packages, and therefore making Autotrader the most amount of money. So obviously they're going to gear products and services towards those type of businesses, which I understand. But what I don't understand is, why should we be paying an 8% extra fee for those AI adverts that I don't want, and I'm sure the vast majority of small independents don't want either? It should be a case of, here's the fee. If you want AI adverts, that's great. You can pay an add-on. It should be an add-on. It shouldn't be across the board. You're all going to pay for it, whether you use it or not. And there's also a reserve feature now on Autotrader, which is £99. People can pay. Your car then is reserved until the customer either comes and sees it or pulls out, which seems to be more what actually happens. And there's no limit to the amount of cars they can reserve, so they could reserve 5, 10 cars on your website, on your Autotrader listings if they wanted to. So again, another feature that we're all paying for that the vast majority of us don't want. And it just feels like they have really pushed the envelope as far as they can possibly push it, and potentially it's going to come crashing down. Now, they helped us in COVID. They really helped us. We had some free months, and we were still selling lots of cars. So it feels like they are now getting their own back for that. You had a great time, lads. You did really well. We all had it away. Bang. Now it's time to pay for all that. And when you're making £348 million as a business a year, I'm not so sure that that is the right thing to do. And this is the first time where I have heard such a cross-section of businesses that are really unhappy and concerned in the way that Autotrader have put the price up again. Usually it's a case of there's a few murmurings and you hear this and a little bit of that, and then 1st of April, you get through April and then people forget about it and you wait until the next price rise. You will get used to it. But I think this time it has just tipped us over the edge. It's the first time where we've seriously considered reducing our package, not necessarily getting rid of the package. Like I say, I like the data. It's nice to have a presence on there. I know a lot of the big boys who have got 200 cars, 300 cars are really reducing their packages because the financial impact on reducing their package is astronomical. And I just think that that might be the way that it goes. Now, Autotrader are saying that that hasn't happened and people aren't reducing their packages. They are. And we'll just have to see how it goes over the next few months. Now, they've given us a boost for the 3 months to sort of keep us on the hook. So from the 1st of March to the 1st of June, they've upped my package from 31 cars to 39 cars for no extra charge. Or for March, there was no extra charge. From the 1st of April, we then go to £4,130 and 46 pence per month plus VAT, which will be for 39 cars until the 1st of June. And then 1st of June, back to the 31 cars for £4,130 and 46 pence plus VAT, which is a huge amount of money. And all we want Autotrader to do as a group of dealers is listen. I had a really long conversation with the rep, and I've spoken to him every month for the last 3 months. And he's a really nice guy, and he knows his stuff, and I think he can see where we're coming from. But if nothing happens, then what was the point? What was the point in 45-minute phone call if nothing happens about this? Now, ultimately, the customers that are buying cars, their footfall on the website is what makes us advertise on there, which then, as a whole ecosystem, makes Autotrader their money. But if customers aren't liking the adverts and the new formats of adverts and seeing cars they don't want to see, and we are getting absolutely hammered every month, I can only see it going one way. And that is a shame. But we are certainly looking at other options. Our website is changing very soon, and we're going to a company, 67 Degrees, who are much more focused on the SEO side of things and Google Ads, which we're definitely going to be getting into as soon as we possibly can. I'm doing more on social media, hence why I'm talking to you guys today, because it doesn't cost me anything to do this apart from my time. And a lot of guys that I'm speaking to are doing the same thing. And James has been a big advocate of using your social media, which we will be trying to do. And there's real concern. And I think they might have just pushed us too far. But let me know your thoughts. It's going to be interesting to see if there are a few more videos like this, and I'm sure a few of the other guys who've got much bigger presences than I do are going to be doing some videos on Autotrader. It's going to be interesting to see if they do take any action. We are going to see how it goes. I'm not quite as rash as some other people that I know in the trade. We like to take our time with things. We like to really see how things pan out. But if it gets to the 1st of June and the leads are still at a low level, which they certainly are at the moment, then we will be seriously considering reducing from a standard to a starter package, and also maybe pulling some cars off as well. The £4,130.46 plus VAT per month is now, as a business, apart from our wages, the biggest cost of running this business. It's more than our rent. It keeps me up at night thinking about how much money it is, and it never used to, because it was creating us so many leads that we were busy enough to accept it. And it's just got to that point where I don't think it is anymore, and that is a shame. But every dog has its day, as the saying goes, and businesses come and go. And I think they've just pushed their luck a little bit too far, unless things change. Now, I cannot see them reducing this price increase, but whether they give us some extra stock. So now having that 39 car for the 3 months does allow us to have pretty much all of our stock on there at any one time, which is good, but I certainly won't be paying for that extra stock. And I've said this to my rep, when it comes to the 1st of June, I will certainly not be increasing my spend with Autotrader. That is not going to happen. Well, I think once you get to £50,000 a year on a 35 car site, enough's enough. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. Now, if we were absolutely dead as a business, then I would have, it would have gone already. But we are really busy and we're having a good year. But it's not Autotrader who's creating that. We're getting an awful lot of repeat custom. We are getting some leads from elsewhere. We're getting quite a bit through social media, which is fantastic. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Watch this space. And let me know your thoughts. If you're a consumer, let me know how you think the new Autotrader platform works for you guys if you're searching for cars, because that is the thing from our point of view. I very rarely look for cars on Autotrader to buy. I'm looking at it from our side, selling cars on Autotrader and how our adverts look. But I'm not searching for cars, so I don't see what you guys as the general public are seeing. And also, if you're a dealer and you've got some opinions, do put them in the comments, because I know that the guys at Autotrader are starting to take notice, are now starting to watch these videos a little bit. And it'll be good for them to see the general consensus. And I guess let's see if the powers that be make any decisions to maybe change things a little bit to keep their customer base high. So thank you for watching. I know I've rattled on for 20 minutes, so I'm sorry if I've bored you a little bit, but I needed to get it off my chest. It's helped me. This is like a bit of a therapy session because it has been bothering me. Autotrader is such a huge expense, and we're not happy with it in its current form. So thank you for watching. Do give it a thumbs up if you've listened to any word that I've said, and do click the subscribe button and get in the comments and let's have a chat about it, and we'll see if anything happens over the next few months. Thanks for watching.